them is to blame. If we're going to be pointing fingers, because I think the injuries are to blame. But the Mets have been injured.
It's
the Mets have been injured for two seasons, pretty much 2 seasons straight. And we talked about this a few weeks ago. I think you got to talk to your strength and conditioning guy and re-examine how the team trains, what they're doing in the weight room. And baseball players, like we said, this needs to be. Baseball players need to be more flexible. They don't need to be bulky.
Nope.
They don't need to necessarily be strong. I mean, they need to be fit, obviously, but you need to train baseball players in a different way than you train, say, football players. Football players, you want to be bulky. Baseball players, you want just the opposite. So that I think that's, to me, is the thing the Mets really need to look at in the offseason.
Plus, football players go in and out of the game, where baseball players tend to play the whole game.
Well, but baseball players, when they're on defense, they go to the dugout, and if they're not batting that inning, they're just sitting around. So, just like football players do when offense and defense comes off the field. But when you're looking at it from that standpoint, I think that's a key thing for the Mets this season, because let's put it this way: I don't think Terry Collins is going to be back next year, because, like I just said, if the Mets were interested in bringing him back, he'd have a contract for next year already, and they'd show him that confidence, and they would have some kind of press conference to express something positive this season, because there's been really not much positive for the Mets this season besides Michael Conforto.
No,
as far
Mets
as I'm
are now
concerned.
in fourth place in the National League East, 16 games back.
Yeah,
they
that's
are
awful.
11 games under 500, which is really sad. Even Atlanta is doing better than them, which is hard to believe.
No, the Braves have a young team. I mean, that's what they're doing.
And Miami is even doing better. So the Mets are, they're not going to do as bad as the Phillies. So
the Phillies are still terrible.
They're not going to be the last place team in the NL East, but they come in second technically. They're only 3 games behind Miami, but I don't expect that.
Well,
it would be a nice show, but it wouldn't really mean anything.
It all comes down to, is Noah Syndergaard actually going to come back and throw a few games? Because you're at a point right now where it's the first week of August. Syndergaard and Matt Harvey as well have both supposedly started throwing. That happened a week or two ago. And if those guys are going to need a month to get back.
Yeah. So
you're to a point now where the minor leagues end in September 1st. Then they go to the postseason, but most of the minor league teams are going to be done. So where do they get their rehab starts? Because they're going to need to throw, but they're also going to need some rehab starts. And this becomes a lot of work for both of those guys to maybe get like 3 starts in September.
Well, I hope so. It's just it's just a team that is searching for an answer and not finding it.
But it's to the point with the Mets right now where Harvey and Syndergaard are going to miss most of the season.
Right.
And Harvey, when he did pitch, was pretty much completely ineffective. And then they found out he had like a muscle deficiency behind his shoulder after the thoracic outlet syndrome. Apparently, they discovered that the muscle in his right shoulder was like half the size of the muscle in his left shoulder.
How's that?
And that's his pitching arm.
I know. You think it would be the other way around.
So
we're going to take a break right now. You're listening to From the Press Box right here on 90.3 WHPC. Also streaming on the iHeartRadio app. Find us either way. 516-572-7440 is the number to call.
Hey, sports fans, are you looking for grand slams? Well, we got them. Penalty shots? Oh, yeah. Touchdowns? Tons of them. Buzzer beaters? All you could ever want. Hey, through the good times and the bad times, it's all sports, all the time. Hi, this is Jacob Volk. Are you a diehard sports fan like me? Then tune in to Beyond the Game every Friday afternoon at 3, also available as a podcast on iTunes. I'm joined by Brandon Johnson, Dominic Arbolino, and Eric Fischetti to break down the latest and greatest in sports. It's all on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Do you like professional wrestling?
What?
Sports entertainment?
What?
Well, do I have a show for you?
What?
The Squared Circle, Mondays at 4 p.m.
Oh, yeah!
We talk all things professional wrestling.
Woo!
from the past.
That's hard time.
To the present.
Yes!
So listen up as host Justin Greenberg and Anthony Tartamella bring you The Squared Circle. Mondays at 4 p.m. on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Okay.
Yo.
Tell your friends about the Nassau Morning Madhouse. Hear what you're missing.
Check it out.
Check it out.
By the way, just so you know, Tyler goes by a different name on the air.
Not today.
Oh.
Not today.
Not today?
When I tried it, showing no, not today.
Not
No,
today.
not today.
We don't share our Russian secrets on the morning show like some people do.
We do not share. But if you are willing to share secrets with me, I will take
I'm
it.
not going to do
But
it.
I got the best secrets.
I know you do.
Give
No
me
one's
the
got better
secrets.
secrets than I do.
No one's got better weather than we do today. Lots of
I know,
sun.
that's why we're going to build a wall around it. No one's going to get our weather.
The Nassau Morning Madhouse. Weekday mornings at 9. Yeah. On the voice of Nassau Community College.
90.3 WHPC.
California Girls from the Beach Boys. Reminder to listen to the Radio Rumble every Saturday with Justin Greenberg. Some good stuff there. Now, brother just asked me, say, hey, Rob, why are we talking about the Mets? Who cares about the Mets? They're horrible.
True.
Why did we start the show with the Yankees? Like because they're winning.
Well, no, I didn't even say the Yankees. I mean, we could have started it with the NFL Hall of Fame, Pro Football Hall of Fame was Saturday.
Let's go with the Yankees.
Could have started it with, maybe some Jets news. We could have talked about the Knicks from my boy Mikey Frazier, who's, he wanted some Knicks stuff last week. I told him to call in. He's busy up in Troy, New York. What can I tell you?
I don't know. Anyway, the Yankees are now in third place. I mean, second place.
Second place.
3 games back.
Two in the loss column.
2 in the loss column. To Boston, your favorite team. Your favorite city.
No to both.
Home of the T.
My Mook friend Croce is on Facebook Live.
Is he writing nice things about you?
No, he's not. Of course not. This is what he does. He trolls. There's gonna be a bunch of comments, all of them negative, and this is what it's going to be. So the less said about him, the better.
So what's going on with the Yankees? Because last week they were doing a little better.
Last week this time they were in first place.
Right. So,
first place, which Mook Croce, by the way, said that would never happen.
What, they wouldn't be in the
He said after the Red Sox went into first place for that couple of weeks that they were in first place, he said the Yankees won't be in first place again the rest of the season. And I'm like, well, okay, another idiot prediction from you, but that's good. And then the Yankees moved in first place, and then like he always does, he vanishes and he goes dark, as they say. And then the second that the Red Sox got first place back from the Yankees, because thanks Chicago White Sox, worst team in baseball, for coming in and letting us sweep you 4 games. But then all of a sudden it's like, first place Red Sox. And I'm like, oh, hey, Croce's back.
Well,
So this is how Red Sox fans are. They're bandwagon jumpers.
Are you trying to say they're not as loyal as Yankee fans?
I'm trying to say that they're much more intellectually challenged than Yankee fans.
Okay. Does that include our future cousin? Isn't Allie, or is it Savannah who's the Red
Savannah's
Sox?
a Red Sox fan,
Okay.
but she's intelligent. I told you that. I said that at the we had an engagement party for our cousin Corey and Allison. They get married in a few months, a couple weekends ago, and I told Savannah said she's a Red Sox fan. I said, well, you're one of the few intelligent ones. I got to give her credit. She's a smart girl.
You're a good cousin, brother.
Exactly.
So what's going on with the Yankees? That's my question. What is going on with the Yankees?
Everybody wants to say
it's over.
The Yankees, it's a tragedy. It's this, it's that. Oh, my God. It's like, what's going on? They just split with the Cleveland Indians. The reigning American League champion Cleveland Indians. I don't see how that's a bad thing. They lost the first 2 games. They played lousy defense in both of those games. So, yeah, it wasn't the best thing in the world. But then they came back and they won 2 games. Luis Severino, again, pitched awesome yesterday.
Right.
The kid is 4-0 with an ERA under 1 in his since the All-Star break. One of the best pitchers in baseball. All right? So now you have him, Jordan Montgomery, who I thought was being sent down and actually was sent down after the game on Saturday. But he's in probably what is his last start this season for the Yankees. He pitched 5 innings, 1 run. Thank you very much for the nice outing. Bullpen took care of the rest. The Yankees win 2-1.
Aaron Judge hits his 35th.
That was yesterday. The offense finally broke out yesterday because that had been the problem. Besides the defense playing lousy. First of all, you can't play bad baseball against the Indians. Otherwise, you're going to lose games. And the Yankees in the first 2 games played probably 2 of the worst defensive games they played all year. The third game was also they couldn't hit. So I mean, they scored 5 runs in 3 games. So you're not going to win games when you do that.
No, you're not.
So yesterday they scored 8 runs. So there you go. Aaron Judge hit his 35th home run of the season. Yeah, he's on his way. I would think he's on his way to 50. Somebody said I saw on a message board yesterday. Somebody said Judge could wind up with 50 home runs and 250 strikeouts. And I said, you know what? If he hits 270 and he does that, I'm fine with it. I don't care how much this kid strikes out. It doesn't matter. But if he hits 270 and hits 50 home runs, he's going to drive in 130 runs.
Yes, he is.
And he'll win some MVP awards. I don't care how many strikeouts he has.
They don't look at strikeouts when you're hitting that.
Nobody cares about strikeouts anymore. It doesn't matter. It's a useless
Imagine
stat.
how great Dave Kingman would be then.
No, because Dave Kingman still couldn't hit. Dave Kingman was an all-or-nothing guy. And Todd Frazier is kind of turning into an all-or-nothing guy. The guy the Yankees traded for 2 weeks ago from the White Sox. Frazier's hitting about 200 since he came over to the Yankees.
Right.
I mean, that's why the offense is slumping, because Judge is he's kind of slowly coming out of the slump that he's been in since the All-Star break. But between him, Gary Sanchez hasn't been hitting all that well. I'm trying to think of who else has been in a bit of a funk. But Frazier, like I said, he's batting about 196 since he came over to the Yankees. So there's some I don't want to say necessarily black holes there, but there's a few guys who you're expecting more from in terms of offense. Oh, and Matt Holliday, too, who just went on the DL. He'd been hitting 136 for about a month and a half. So that is a big problem, especially middle-of-lineup guys who you're expecting not only power from, but you're also expecting them to get a clutch hit when you need an RBI. When those guys aren't producing, then it's a big problem. So, the Yankees have... I don't even know who they got. Toronto coming up this week. Then they play a couple with the Red Sox. So by the time we talk next week, I'm expecting the Yankees to be back in first place.
Boston is this weekend, Friday,
yes.
Saturday, Sunday. Toronto is
but
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Next weekend too.
Oh, it's a 2
Oh,
week.
brother, you lied to me.
What?
Battery 20% remaining.
Well, don't worry. Anyway. You got 20%. We got. Timmy's talking about the Facebook Live thing.
Yeah, we're not going to make it.
And the Mets are playing Philly this weekend. 4 games.
That's good. They can put some room between them and the Phillies.
But imagine they lost all 4. They're playing Texas too, which I was shocked by.
Well, interleague. Well, at least they won't have to face Darvish, but they faced him against when he was pitching for the Dodgers a few days ago. Yeah. Yu's first National League start after the big trade, and struck out 10 Mets and pretty much just dominated. So that was a good first start for Mr. Darvish in Los Angeles. They didn't even really.
So
need him,
what do the Yankees have to do for the next remaining 2 months?
They need their offense to wake up. The pitching has been good enough. Sonny Gray, the kid is going to pitch. Well, he's got the pedigree, he's got track record. So that trade, in fact, we didn't talk about that trade because that happened right after we went off the air. I mean,
many things
literally a couple of hours after we went off the air last week. Brian Cashman pulled off an enormous trade for the Yankees, and the more I've been thinking about this trade, the more I like it because I didn't like the fact that the Yankees gave up three big names from their farm system. But when you really look and analyze the trade,
right?
What did he give up? He gave up Jorge Mateo, who this time last year was one of the Yankees' top prospects, but A, started as a shortstop, B, has had issues with Yankee brass in terms of he didn't think he was being promoted fast enough, and is now blocked by Gleyber Torres and a couple other guys. I mean, they were trying to make him into a center fielder, which he probably could be because You see, baseball has a rating system for skills, and it goes like a low of 20 and a high